Welcome, class of 2020, educators, friends, families, and to everyone who's watching from afar. My name is Ha Tan Do, and I'm proud to be Lee Academy's first international valedictorian for the class of 2020. And I'm from Hanoi, Vietnam. During these unprecedented times, I want to share a lesson, one of the most important ones that I've learned at Lee Academy. And it starts like this. So when I was 7, my family moved to this house in which the previous owner had left a beautiful fish tank. Excited, my father decorated the fish tank with the most exotic fish, the most colorful plants, and the most expensive decorations. Well, on the first day, the fish tank looked marvelous, just like an aquarium on the TV. However, as time progressed, everything started to slowly deteriorate. The fishies were fighting, and the plants were struggling to live. And by the end of the 5th week, most of the fishes were dead. Well, I was really sad because I named the fish after my favorite movie stars. But it wasn't until now that I realized why the fish tank did not work. There were simply too many things inside that fish tank. It occurred to me that the fish tank is somehow a miniature, a reflection of our own lives, of what we envision that we need to truly be happy. Everyone wants to fill their own fish tanks with academic achievements, sports awards, perfect relationships, perfect hair, a good job, and all of them are good things. But however, while we mindlessly strive for these things, for a perfect fish tank, a lot of times we forget to evaluate if these things really make us happy, or in a broader sense, do we need them to be happy? Well, at Lee Academy, my fish tank has been changed forever. Coming from Hanoi, a city of 10 million people, my biggest goal for life was academic, and I strive to study the best that I can. But coming here, it's the first time that I've seen this many trees. The sky has been the bluest that it had ever been, and I've even seen a dead deer on the road in real life, and I get to brag to my friends all about it at home. I think the most beautiful part of it is the stars, shining in the velvet night. I was never able to see it at home due to the light pollution. When the constellation blinked at me, at that moment, it felt like the universe was prompting a change in my heart. In the next few years, I acquainted myself with the most beautiful, wonderful humans that ever met. That is Mrs. Kendra Ritchie, Mr. Butch Authors, Mr. Luke Shorty, all of my teachers and friends. And I want to shout out to my best friends in the dormitories, Anna, Diana, and Ling. With all of these experiences, I realized that life is full of surprises and change, and the many things that seemed important today can become meaningless as we wake up next morning. Well, in context, I believe that this historical COVID pandemic is a great opportunity for each of us to re-examine our own fish tanks, the way we see our lives. In the pandemic, we're now confronted with isolation, loneliness, and dealing with our own problems without an escape. And we come to acknowledge that there are many people out there who would not make it when this is all over, and that there are many who are more vulnerable than we are without proper protection. We come to fear the post-pandemic future, that we'll live in a world when things that we were dreamed of that are no longer out there. However, most importantly, I do believe that in such trying times, our visions becomes much clearer. We come to realize that in this time, we're surrounded by our families, by those who love us, and by those who we love. We come to realize that we're blessed and grateful for food on the table every day, for internet access, for a beautiful early morning, and for binging a season on Netflix without having to go to school the next morning. And for that reason, each of our fish tanks slowly changes as the day and time moves forward, so that we can truly see what's important. So, class of 2020, The world might seem like it's falling apart, but I believe that this is an opportunity for each of us to reevaluate our lives, to clean our fish tanks, and to come out stronger than ever before, using our blessings to continue to fight for those more vulnerable than ourselves. Thank you.